In this video, the competition is heating up. We're gonna do a full neighborhood breakdown, living in downtown San Diego versus living at or near the beach.
Oh, that sounds exciting.
When I say beach, I'm thinking like Pacific Beach, Ocean Beach, maybe Encinitas, La Jolla, one of those super popular kind of coastal communities. But real quick, if this is your first time to my YouTube channel, thank you so much for stopping by. My name is Wesley Guest. I'm a downtown San Diego real estate agent, but I cover pretty much the entire San Diego County. If you need help moving to, from, or within San Diego, don't be afraid to reach out. My contact information is gonna be down in the description. And if you enjoy videos like this, I'm putting out content now at least once a week. Please subscribe. Okay, let's get this started. So the format for the video today is, I think this is the best way to do it. We're gonna look at the pros and the cons for living in downtown San Diego or the city first, and then we're gonna look at the pros and cons of living near the beach. Once we do that, we're gonna kind of compare the two and try to determine which is the best place to live. So talking downtown San Diego first, the pros and the cons. By the way, if you want to see an entire video about the pros and cons of downtown San Diego, I did that video a few weeks ago. I'm also going to throw that link down in the description. Check it out after you watch this video, of course. Pro number one is going to be probably a very obvious one, but it's going to be proximity to entertainment and the nightlife. There's no shortage of fun adult activities to do if you're living in pretty much almost any part of downtown San Diego. Gaslamp Quarter, East Village, and probably Little Italy especially. You're gonna have all the amazing cafes, you're gonna have the restaurants, you're gonna have the shops, you're gonna have all the different festivals, the different events that happen on the weekends, you're gonna have the pubs, you're gonna have the bars if that's your thing. There's just a ton of stuff to do, especially like nightlife wise. And if you like to go out, let's say like in the daytime for once again adult like type activities, proximity, perfect. Pro number two is gonna tie into pro number one, but it's gonna be the fact that to get to all those activities, you don't need to drive. So you don't need a car. It's very walkable. You can walk from the farthest part. Let's say you're in Little Italy, which is gonna be like the north side of downtown San Diego. You walk all the way to the other side, to East Village. That would take you about 28, 27 minutes. Done it. So that's why I know pretty much exactly how long it takes. If you do the walk, I recommend taking the long way. Go walk along the bay, like the bay walk along the water. It's beautiful. Trust me, check it out. You won't regret it. So pro number three is gonna be easy access to different transportation options. Once again, you don't need a car. You're gonna have a trolley, you're gonna have the train, you can call and get a free ride. If you're wondering what that is, it looks just like this. You call a Lyft or an Uber, it's gonna be there in a couple minutes tops. You can have electric scooter options. It feels like on almost every other corner. You can use a bike. They've made downtown San Diego and other parts of San Diego even more bicycle friendly. They've removed lanes for cars and they've expanded bike lanes, so it's a lot safer. And then pro number four is gonna be housing. There are a lot of places to live in the city. There's gonna be tons and tons and tons of condos that you can buy and you can move into, townhomes, and then you're gonna have the thousands of apartments. And most of them, I would say, are probably 10 years or younger. So a lot of apartment options. Way easier to find a place to buy or to rent than anywhere pretty much near the beach. All right, so I'm gonna flip on you real quick. We're gonna continue that point because there's definitely a big con that goes along with all the housing options. The housing options are not that difficult to find in the city, but they're not cheap. It's probably one of the most expensive areas to live, like apartment wise, or if you're buying like a condo. But housing and then the cost of living in general is going to be pretty high in the city. Con number two is going to be just the fact that you're in the city, so you're going to be dealing with noise and different noise levels depending on what you're used to or how quickly you can adapt. It could be airplane noise, it could be like fire engine sirens, it could be police sirens, it could be the military, jets going overhead, it could be somebody in the middle of the night drunk and screaming. I mean, it happens.
Sounds awful.
And then the third con that you got to talk about is going to be like the homeless situation. There's homeless, it's a city, just like any other city. There's a homeless situation happening here as well. It's worse in other parts of the city than others. The clusters of the homeless are going to be in East Village. There's three kind of distinct spots. It's going to be near the post office. Get a lot of homeless up there. Get off the freeway on 10th Avenue. And then there's going to be kind of deep in East Village out to the east and south side of East Village. Other parts of the city are going to have homeless activity, but I'd say nothing kind of like what's going on in East Village. Okay, so there's a quick breakdown for you on the city. So now let's talk about the beach. Pro number one is going to be extremely obvious, but you're going to have easy and quick access to the beach and the ocean. There are so many fun things to do on the sand, on the water, everything from surfing, beach volleyball, kayaking, boating, laying out and enjoying the sunshine, just people watching. It is so much fun near the coastal areas. Everything's a little bit more relaxed, I think, as well, which is cool. You can pretty much wear your flip-flops anywhere and everywhere.
I can't run. I'm wearing flip-flops.
Oops, got ahead of myself. So that was gonna be pro number 2. Vibes there are just gonna be a little more relaxed and a little more laid back. Like I said, when I was living at the beach and when I go back, I wear flip-flops. So you don't really need to wear shoes. Felt like Fred Flintstone living in my flip-flops all the time.
Hiya, Wilma.
People are very chill in the beach areas, maybe a little too chill in some cases if you're a little bit more on the impatient side. And then the third pro is gonna be that I think it's slightly more affordable for the most part, like cost of living wise, especially housing. When I'm talking housing, I'm not talking about houses. Houses near the beach, the coast are gonna be very expensive, but you can't really compare that to the city because there pretty much aren't any houses in the city. Condominium wise, townhome wise, I mean, unless you're sitting like on the sand, I mean, you're gonna probably pay a little bit less. But when I say that, this is gonna be the cons that start now. Housing near the beach, a little less expensive, but there's less of it and it's in high demand. It's not unusual for a nice apartment in Pacific Beach, let's say it comes up for rent. Look at 30 different stacks of applicants, all trying to get into the same property. You just don't have all the new inventory, like apartment-wise, and the new condominiums and the high-rises. You just don't have it near the beach. Buying, it's a little bit easier. Renting is just an absolute nightmare at the moment. Another con is gonna be like the tourists, the crowds, and then the traffic that goes along with that, right? We're a tourist city. You get a lot of people that come here. It gets a little busier like in the summer, maybe like the late spring. There's always gonna be people coming from other parts of the country and outside of the country. It's just gonna be a part of the coastal and beach lifestyle. Now the con is gonna be the limited transportation options. So, I mean, if you live by the beach, probably gonna need a car. Unless for some reason you never leave the beach area. Awesome. Although you probably are gonna need to leave at some point. It's not like the city. It's not gonna have the trolley. You're not gonna have the train. You're gonna have Ubers and Lyfts. There's a lot of Ubers and Lyfts that hang out around, especially Pacific Beach, Ocean Beach. You're gonna have, it's easier to get an Uber or Lyft there than let's say Encinitas or kind of La Jolla. There's still get an Uber or Lyft. It's just not as easy. You can use your bike. There's gonna be electric scooters around in most of the beach areas. Not all of them. It's just a little bit more difficult.
I think I followed that.
All right, so let's get this comparison going. I think the cost of living is gonna be a little bit higher when you combine everything together. Housing is probably gonna be your biggest driver. Overall, it's probably gonna be a little bit higher living in the city. There's a win for the beach. So access to like entertainment, fun stuff to do. This is gonna be kind of close and it kind of depends on what you actually wanna be doing. I think if it really came down, like push comes to shove, I think the city wins this one. Access to transportation, I think there's no question here. I think I covered it pretty thoroughly. Transportation-wise, it's going to be the city again. Lifestyle-wise, if you like things moving real quickly, if you like a little bit of a buzz, a little bit of noise, kind of happening all the time, then the city would once again win. But if you like things a little more laid back, like it a little more quiet, a little more peace, people that are taking things a little bit slower, not in as big of a rush, probably gonna be the beach is gonna win this one. Just depends on what you like. And then lifestyle, let's have more of a discussion here. So let's say you're like a young professional. You could probably go either way. A lot of the young professionals in the city, in the luxury apartments, and the condominium, like the condo, high-rise, luxury high-rises. And then you're also gonna find a lot of like young professionals near the beach. Let's say you're not a young professional and you're a family, considering moving in the city or moving to the beach. I don't think there's really any question here where you should wind up. I would be in the coastal areas of the beach all day. There's pockets where there's gonna be families, much quieter parts. There's schools, Encinitas, great schools, La Jolla, amazing schools. It's not very often that I bump into or see any kind of family like living in the city. Not to say there aren't any, but it's just not very common. Tyree, so the first thing that pops in my mind is the city, no question. But if you dream of spending a retirement on the sand and watching the ocean waves, there are great places to live near the coast. If you're a student, and I don't mean like later in life going back to school, like a student, I would probably recommend the beach area. You're gonna have a lot of people in the same exact position and doing the same exact thing as you are living right by you, especially Pacific Beach or Ocean Beach. Okay, so there's your neighborhood breakdown. Hopefully you found that helpful. If you have anything to add, by all means, throw it in the comments below. We all want to read it. And if you're thinking about moving to, from, or within San Diego and you need help with any one of these areas, don't be shy about reaching out to me. I know I'm inside and out. I would love to help you out. So my contact information is going to be down in the description below. And I'm putting out videos like this once a week. If you enjoyed it, hit subscribe. If you're looking for your next related video, I recommend this one on the pros and cons of downtown San Diego. I think you might enjoy it. Have an amazing day.